So, good afternoon. It is Wednesday, 19th of March, the day after the Season 20 update. Let's have a little look at the cards. Today we're going to be looking at my build for the explosive pistol build. Pistols no longer need perk cards to get their full strength, as now...
Never was much of a builder myself.
Yeah, shut up. Say now they don't need perk cards to make them full strength. They come full strength as of standard out the pack now. When you first load in, you'll be given a message that your perk cards have all changed and you need to go into your perk manager to have a look at them. So, explosive pistols, we have already done that one. Excuse me while I just go. Oh, alright, someone's here. Someone's being a noisy burger. Alright. God. I see the clipping for the dog still just as bad as it's always been. They didn't fix that then. Now, if you have the dog in your camp, he will clip through the walls. Still doing it. Oh well. Okay.
Hey.
What? Shut up. Right. Here we are. This is last season's non-explosive pistols. As you see, 6 unused, 2 unused, blah 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 blah. That is quite a lot of unused cards. Here is one that I have now actually done. Here's my little perks loadout. 5 strength, 4 perception, 15 endurance, 5 in charisma, 8 in intelligence, 10 in agility, 10 in luck. None of that really means anything because you can just move them around anyhow, but people want to see it, so there you go. Let's go into it. So we've got 10 in strength, 9 in perception, 15th in endurance, 5 in charisma, 13 in intelligence, 15 in agility, and 14 in luck.
We apologize for the inconvenience.
Thank you, Collecton, for that. Here's my cards. Oh, let's go up into legendary perks, then we'll do the cards. Legendary perks. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maxed out, giving me an extra whole bunch of stars to use down there. So this is more of an advanced build and it is a low health build. It is not a furious build, it's a low health build. And then here we have electrical absorption. That can be swapped out for whatever you want in your super legendaries. You can have more stars if you feel like you need more cards. Or you could have a different card. Lots of talking in the background. This is specifically so when I'm in power armor, it charges up my cores. It's not really that important as it used to be, but hey, I just haven't moved it because it wasn't necessary. So, as we know, lots of cards have moved around and cards do different things now. Playing around with that this morning, and this is what I've come up with. It's not 100%, but hey, it's done okay for me. Bandolier, 90% less weight on ammo. Blocker, 45% less damage from your opponent's melee attacks. If you're not a low health build...
Am I in the way?
Yes, you're in the way. Now, shush. If you're not a low health build, you won't need that card. So that's 3 points saved if you're not low health to spend on something else. Strong back, gain more carry weight based on your strength. I've got strength as 10, so that's doing well. Barbarian, this is now just 1 star. Gain damage resistance based on your strength. Double when not wearing armor. I am wearing armor, so it's not doubled. But still adds a nice bit of Never realised how loud it is around here. Excuse me a second. Just gonna run somewhere a bit quieter. Get out of the way of all those noises. Yep, and Ordnance Express, explosives weigh 90% less. So if you got any explosive ammo on you, which can be quite heavy, that isn't covered by bandolier, that's the card you want. Tank Killer. Your small guns ignore 36% armor, have a 9 chance to stagger. Small guns is everything now that isn't large guns or bows. Bows have their own card, large guns have their own card. All other guns covered by Tank Killer. Reflector. This is now a 1-star card. Gain energy resistance based on your perception. Perception is higher it is, the more energy resistance you have. Who the feck is shooting? Well, there's something you'll notice as well. We'll cover in a few minutes. Alright, now they've finished attacking my base. Let's crack on. Whew. Tank Killer. Reflector. Gain energy resistance based on your perception. You won't really need that if you're not a low health character. Overkill on energy protection. Awareness. Gain more VATS accuracy based on your perception. That used to be so you could see enemies' weaknesses. You don't need a card to see enemies' weaknesses anymore. More on that later. Grenadier, that's just to make your explosions bigger. Now, concentrated fire. Focus fire to gain accuracy and 1% damage per shot. Just going to leave that there for now because I'm not 100% sure what it does now. But it is no longer what it used to do, which is to concentrate the fire on different limbs. You now get that from perception. Let's have a quick look at perception. So specials, if your perception is 5, you can now target limbs. There you go. Perception affects your awareness of nearby enemies and your ability to detect stealthy movements and your weapon's accuracy in VATS. Additionally, having 5 perception allows you to target enemy limbs, so no longer concentrated fire. And 5 and 10 in perception tells you or informs you what their enemy resistances are. So no longer need the old awareness card, that's now changed, and you don't need the targeting limbs one, that's also changed. And that's 9 points in perception. Endurance, this is if you're not a ghoul, because a lot of these are working as a ghoul, human only cards. This is a low health build for a human. So, endurance, we've got Iron Stomach, increased damage and energy resistance. Natural resistance, increased elemental resistance. Adamantium, gain limb damage reduction based on your endurance. All 1 stars. Fireproof hasn't changed, that's still a 3-star, and that's take 45% damage, less damage from explosions and flame attacks. Very good, especially as low health, because both poison damage and flame damage does tend to kill you quite quickly. Radical, the greater your rads, the greater your strength, 1 star, and that is maxed out on how much rads you have. Low health character, lots of rads. Life Giver, Gain more HP per point in endurance. Well, we have a lot of points in endurance, so that's more max HP. Ironclad. Armor provides, this has changed, armor provides 25% more protection, double if wearing a matching set. I have a matching set on, so that is yet more. It says protection. Probably all of it goes up. 25%. Not sure if that's base damage or multiplicative, but it just gives you 25% more. So take it off, have a look what you got, stick it on, and see where the sums work. Thirst Quencher. Increased max AP based on endurance while not diseased. Okay, so always nice to have action point regen and more action points to play with. Starch Genes. 1 star. Never mutate from rads, and Radaway will never cure mutations. Good. Rejuvenated. This one has changed. Make sure you read the words of rejuvenated. Before, it used to be 1 star gave you some effects, 2 stars gave you more effects. If we read that one now, 1 star, you gain increased benefits from being well fed or hydrated. 2 star, if you are a low health build with lots of rads, 2 star is not for you. And this is why. Benefits of being well fed or hydrated are further increased when you have less than 10% rads. Well, there you go. I'm on 80% rads as a low health build. So as a full health build, you want 2 stars. As a low health build, you only want the 1 star card. And that is our 15 in endurance. Charisma. These are really throwaway cards. I just have them because I've got the extra slots and the extra points. It's only 5. So here goes. Positive mutation effects are 25% stronger if teammates are mutated too. So you might as well have that one. It's only 1 star. Inspirational. Gain more XP while on a team based on your charisma. 1 star. Might as well have that one if you're XP farming, which most of us are. Bodyguard. Gain damage and energy resistance based on your charisma and number of teammates. Yes, please. Another 1 star card. Tenderize. Each attack makes your target take increased damage. Always nice to have increased damage. It's only a 1 star card, but it does take up 2 slots. And if you're in an event where you need to keep NPCs alive, you can also swap that out for friendly fire. So I've just got that on 2 stars, so I can just swap those 2 out. And then I've got Hard Bargain over here as a spare card if I want to increase my charisma and do a bit better at bartering. Over intelligence, we've got 13 in intelligence. It's a low health character, so Nerd Rage. Whilst below 20% health, gain 40% damage resistance. Always a good card to have on if you're low health. Even if you're not constantly in the Nerd Rage, get shot once, you're pretty much into Nerd Rage. This is an explosive pistol build, so Demo Expert, your explosives do 60% more damage. That used to be 5-point card, now it's only a 3-point card. Bit more room for cards in intelligence. Batteries included. Energy weapon ammo weighs 90% less. That card remains the same. Gunsmith guns break 50% slower, and you can craft tier 5 guns. You don't really need that one. It's just nice to have it on. But if you wanted the extra 5 points, take that one off and just fix your guns more often. Or swap out for any of the other cards in here. And then we are into agility. Now this is the one where if you are going to be running the Onslaught build or the Onslaught cards, yes, this is where you want to be putting all those Onslaught cards. We'll go into those in a little bit. But in my agility, this isn't an Onslaught thing, it is a bloodied build, so I have bloodied guns. Action point, action boy, action point, regenerate 45% faster. Gunslinger, this is one of those cards, but it isn't based on having a furious weapon. So your range weapons do 12% weak spot damage. Quite nice now, considering perception allows us to target limbs without needing the limb targeting card. Just does it automatically now. So Gunslinger, your range weapons do 12% weak spot damage, and we are going to be hitting weak spots where possible. Evasives, chance to evade attacks based on agility, no power armor. So if you do pop on power armor, you can swap that card out for any other 1-star card. What have we got? Your action points regenerate faster when not over encumbered. Yeah, swap it out for that one if you want. Gung Fu. VATS swap targets on kill with a 90% damage up to 3 targets. So as long as you're doing one-shot kills and there's enough around, it will just swap from enemy. Doesn't need to be one-shot kills, but just needs to be quick enough for Gung Fu to kick in and you'd not run out of VAT points. So as long as you got your action points regen quite nicely and you got lots of action points, thus why the earlier cards, it will swap from enemy to enemy to enemy, and as long as you kill them quick enough, you can get up to 90% damage on the 3rd target. Always nice to have extra damage. And Adrenaline, gain 10%, max 60% damage for 30 kills, duration refresh. So that goes quite nicely with Kung Fu. When this was a pistol build, it used to have on Guerrilla cards and Gunslinger cards. They still look like pistol and auto pistol cards. They really should have changed the graphics on these, but they are no longer needed for pistols and auto pistols. They do other things now. So we have the Furious weapons, and that goes quite nicely with the stacking system they have for Onslaught. There's lots of weird names. So this is why we haven't got these cards on. So this one, you do 20% range damage to close enemies. Good for a shotgun. Long distance guns, no good. 1% reload speed per Onslaught stack. Don't care about that one. 3 max stacks. If you were running a Furious build and you want all these Onslaught stacks, that's one to have. Faster reload and 3 extra stacks. Guerrilla Master, 5% range damage to close enemies per Onslaught stack. Once again, good for shotguns because it's literally 3 sort of base squares distance. So they're quite close. So really good on for shotgun, which also needs to be quite close. And then that also gives you 5 max stacks. So if you're running the Furious system, that's quite a few extra stacks in just those 2 cards. Gunslinger, 1% ranged weak spot damage per Onslaught stack, max 5 stack. So if you were running the Furious system, you'd be having number 2 Gunslinger Expert there, rather than what I'm running, which is that just box standard Gunslinger. That is not for Furious. That is for Furious. And Gunslinger Master. Gain Onslaught stacks over time and spend them on attacks. So that's what they are nicknaming Reverse Onslaught. If you have got one-shot kill weapons, you ain't going to be building up stacks. Basically, a stack is like Furious. 1 shot, 1 stack, or however enemies it hits. Basically, it's down to how many hits per enemies. Shotguns, for instance, you can hit about 8 enemies at the same time. That's pretty much 8 stacks. Explosive shotgun, you can do way more hits, and your stacks just leap through the roof. This one is the opposite. if you've got one-shot kills that aren't explosive, you're going to be pretty much running at max stacks. So imagine you've got a one-shot kill pistol that doesn't explode and you hit one enemy. You can have, well, on a full health character, for instance, you'd be more powerful in that one shot than you would be as a bloodied character. If you are got a weak weapon that shoots out multiple projectiles or bullets, you want the old system of Furious, where the more hits, the more it builds up. But your first few hits are always going to be your weakest. Just remember that one. And we are back into luck now. We have Bloody Mess. 15% bonus damage, that's remained the same as before. Class Freak, negative effect, that runs quite nicely with, where is it? Strange in Numbers. So, Strange in Numbers makes them more positive, Class Freak makes them less negative. That card remains the same. Better criticals, VATS criticals now do 100% damage, that remains the same. Serendipity, while below 30% health, gain a chance to evade based on luck. No power armor again, so that's another one to swap out if you're going to be using power armor. Maybe stick on either junk shield or ricochet, but as power armor now gives you extra strength when you're wearing it, junk shield not so important, so maybe ricochet, especially if you're using vampire weapons. Also, ricochet helps with stack building. So beware, once again, if you have the one where you are on reverse onslaught, ricochet will be constantly knocking your reverse onslaught down. So not a good card for reverse onslaught. 4-leaf closer misses in VATS, now contribute to your VATS critical. So if you're going to use a VATS build, you want your 4-leaf clover, because that's going to help build your criticals up that little bit faster. Critical Savvy, critical hits now only consume 50% of your meter, and that's it. We could also, I've already used it, yeah. That is my build. I'll pause it there so you can have a look, but we've just gone through it all. Let's go and have a look at this new system, new old system. So the two things we're about to do now required extra cards. Let's just duck down. So no longer do you need the card to help you target limbs. It just naturally does it as long as you have over 5 perception. And because I have on weak spot damage, boom. Also, if you notice underneath, level 50 Scorch up there. This one's got 11 shield, 8 against energy. Radiation doesn't really affect it. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? It's got 11 protection against fire, 7 protection against frost damage, and 12 protection against acid attack. And boom. There you go. That is the explosive pistol build. And a little explanation of some of the things that have changed thanks to, what are we on now? Season 20. Just kill this thing. Ah, it's hiding from me. Well, that's my first build video. I've hoped you liked it. Hope we've explained some of the card changes a bit more clearly now. Now you can actually see what they do and the difference in perception and those 2 cards you used to use for targeting limbs and viewing enemies' weaknesses. You only need 5 perception and 10 perception for those 2. I have been Nomadic Marth. This has been a quick explosive pistol build. Next one I'll be doing is probably a bow and arrow build, as those are my non-meta or off-meta, whatever you want to call them, builds. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked it. Please stick the thumb, hit the subscribe, and leave comments if you've got any better builds, hints, or tips that you found. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye for now. Bye-bye.